offering resources for those facing eviction.
A group in Nelsonville is bringing community members to the table.
And in sports, Ohio football is back on the gridiron as the Bobcats begin fall practice.
Newswatch starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to Newswatch, your source for news impacting southeastern Ohio. I'm Taylor Burnett.
And I'm Teo Peck Suzuki. The state government is holding off on a mask mandate as the COVID-19 Delta variant spreads throughout Ohio. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine said at a press conference today, schools and other institutions can create their own mask guidelines. DeWine and state health officials continue to sound the alarm on the Delta variant. According to the Ohio Department of Health, the Delta variant represented 4% of the state's COVID cases in May. As of late July, it was responsible for more than 86% of cases. More than 18,000 people have been hospitalized with COVID-19 this year. DeWine says that more than 98% of them were not vaccinated. Just more than 46% of Ohioans are fully vaccinated as of today. DeWine highly recommends those who are not vaccinated to get the COVID-19 vaccine, and in the meantime, wear a mask.
Held its first meeting today, a big step towards redrawing our state and congressional district maps. Voters approved the changes to the map-making process through statewide ballot issues in 2015 and 2018. League of Women Voters Executive Director Jen Miller says the required public hearings are important.
This is the chance for the public to be engaging, making sure that map makers are upholding the letter and spirit of those ballot initiatives.
The Redistricting Commission includes the Governor, State Auditor, Secretary of State, a senator from both parties, and a representative from both parties. The Commission has now to approve a map of new legislative districts by mid-September. The Ohio General Assembly must approve a map by congressional districts by September 30th.
The Ohio Attorney General's office has rejected the language in a petition to legalize recreational marijuana in the state. Attorney General Dave Yost yesterday listed 7 deficiencies in the petition filed by the Coalition to Regulate Marijuana like Alcohol. Among the technical problems cited was that the petition fails to inform signers of the measure's character and limitations. The group was told to review the summary to make sure it accurately captures the proposed statutes, definitions, contents, and purpose before resubmitting. The coalition needs to gather a certain amount of signatures to submit the proposed state law to the Ohio legislature. If the legislature does not pass the bill, the measures allowing adults 21 and older to buy, possess, and grow marijuana would be placed on the ballot.
Good evening, I'm Benjamin Byers. Well, we certainly have a hot week ahead for us. Taking a look at this week in Athens, temperatures in the high 80s, low 90s, so very hot as we go into the week. Thunderstorms are possible Wednesday. Very low chances. They're more scattered or isolated thunderstorms, not full out thunderstorms, but clouds will be the main theme for this week. As with the high temperatures, as we have partly cloudy and mostly cloudy skies each day as we go into the week. Right now in Athens, very hot out, 83 degrees, but partly cloudy skies, and it feels like 86, so quite a big difference between what the temperature actually is and what the temperature's reading, with those winds sadly not giving us much of a cool down as it comes through our area. Right now in our southeast Ohio region, again, very hot everywhere, 85 in Ripley, 85 in Newark, 85 in Columbus. We get lower as we get into Cambridge with 81, but again, very hot and cloudy throughout our southeastern region. And tonight in Athens, we'll cool down a bunch with cloudy skies, and again, winds will remain light and variable. And back over to the news desk.
The school sales tax holiday is underway. The sale runs today through Sunday. It gives students and families a chance to fill their backpacks without paying sales tax on those items. The Ohio Council of Retail Merchants says retailers lost out on sales last year when many schools stayed virtual, but businesses are expecting a lot of shoppers this weekend. Some retailers look forward to the holiday because people from out of state will travel to Ohio to shop. The holiday typically results in $19 to $20 million lost in sales tax. Many school districts across the state are planning in-person instruction with COVID-19 safety guidelines in place.
Unseen damages below a high traffic street in Athens are in need of immediate repair, and a local nonprofit is offering a helping hand to those facing eviction. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
A historic lighthouse teeters on a collapsing cliff.
The result would be disastrous.
Open the valve!
A team of elite engineers wages an epic battle to move it.
Move the whole thing at once.
Safely inland, fighting deadly storms and crumbling walls. Can they save it before time runs out? Operation Lighthouse Rescue on Nova.
We formed a family to look out for each other. No one else was looking out for us.
Three friends confront their futures and face the past.
How much did you know about what was happening?
Skateboarding meant more to you than being cool and having friends. It was kind of a life or death thing.
The Oscar-nominated Minding the Gap on POV.
He was bigger than boxing.
I am the greatest.
He was larger than life.
His magnetism just was amazing. Who is this guy?
He was a revolutionary. He was a groundbreaker.
Well, ain't nobody gonna stop me.
Ken Burns captures an intimate story of victory, defeat, and determination.
The price of freedom comes high. I have paid, but I am free.
Muhammad Ali. Tune in or stream. Starts Sunday, September 19th at 8/7 Central, only on PBS.
Nature's landmark three-part series concludes. It's a critical time for new research and cat conservation.
It's an animal that was born in the center, and now you are giving him the freedom.
This is an age of discovery that's revolutionizing how we view this amazing super family.
The city of Athens will spend $500,000 to replace a tunnel under a busy street. Nick Veland has more on the situation.
Running under Schaefer Street between Bayard and West State is a storm tunnel at risk of collapsing. Athens Service Safety Director Andy Stone said the time is ticking to get the tunnel replaced.
It's urgent enough that we need to act this year. And if you backward plan from when the asphalt plants shut off because of winter, I would need to get it done and paved back prior to November 15th. You know, it will be fine as long as we're not having major rain events. But if I have a major rain event, you know, I think the potential is there for a collapse between now and then.
Athens City Council rushed the project through approval to start accepting bids for the $600,000 tunnel replacement.
The construction of the tunnel beneath me may be costly to the taxpayers, but according to Stone, it's a solution that will last for many years to come.
This ultimately will, you know, ideally this will make it last another 70 years. I mean, if you look at, or actually I think 90 years probably, if you're looking at the age of that existing tunnel. But it drains a significant portion of the west side, so, you know, it's a pretty important part of city infrastructure.
Once the work starts, construction crews will attempt to keep traffic flowing with at most one lane of traffic being closed. For Newswatch, I'm Nick Veland.
The 2-week bidding process has begun. Stone hopes the project will be completed by early October.
An Ohio judge ordered a man to get vaccinated against COVID as a condition of his probation. And Brandon Rutherford, along with his lawyer, are taking issue with the order to get the vaccine within 2 months. The 21-year-old wore his face mask to court yesterday because he heard about the increase in case numbers. Rutherford says Hamilton County Judge Christopher Wagner asked if he was vaccinated or planned on doing so while he awaited sentencing for his drug-related crime.
I don't plan on getting it. I don't want it. So for him to tell me that I have to get it in order for me to not violate my probation is crazy, because I'm just trying to do what I can to get off this as quickly as possible, like finding a job and everything else. But that little thing can set me back.
Rutherford's attorney says this is the first time he's heard of a Hamilton County judge ordering someone to get the vaccine.
Meanwhile in D.C., House Speaker Nancy Pelosi hints at a possible COVID vaccine mandate if the FDA gives full approval.
In a matter of
maybe days or weeks, the full approval will be given to the vaccines, and that I think will make a difference in terms of what we can do.
The lower chamber currently has a mask mandate for members in the House's halls and office buildings.
A new study offers more proof of the importance of vaccinations, showing that they cut the risk of COVID-19 reinfection in half. The research published today by the CDC shows the vaccine protects better than natural immunity from a previous coronavirus infection. In the study, people who got COVID-19 in 2020 and weren't vaccinated afterwards were more likely to be reinfected in May or June of 2021. Researchers say they were more than twice as likely to get sick again compared to people who had COVID but were later fully vaccinated. The authors say they're still trying to find out how strong natural immunity to COVID-19 is and how long it actually lasts.
The eviction moratorium has ended in some places across southeastern Ohio, but resources are available for those facing the possibilities of homelessness. The moratorium was extended for some communities, but not Athens, Hocking, or Perry counties. Those making up to $39,000 per year in Athens County can apply for rent assistance through Hocking Athens Perry Community Action Program, or HAPCAP.
The program is available for people who have been affected by COVID-19 due to loss of employment, reduction of hours, child care costs, money spent on protective measures, having to quarantine and miss work, and more, says Amanda Salvo, the Community Action Coordinator at HAPCAP.
Utility companies as quickly as possible. I think that when a family is in fear of losing their home or do lose their home, it affects their entire world. You know, it's hard to be a parent when you're worried about keeping your house. It's hard to go to work and concentrate on work and be a good employee when you're in fear of losing your home.
The time between the start of the application process and a landlord receiving a check can take a few weeks, Salville says, so those who think they need assistance should begin the process as soon as possible. It is ideal for people to reach out to HAPCAP before an eviction notice is ever served. Lucy Schwally is the managing attorney of Southeastern Ohio Legal Services' Athens office.
Receive a notice to vacate based on non-payment of rent, to immediately contact their local community action or which agency is running the rent relief programs. Here in our area, that is Hocking Athens Perry Community Action for Hocking, Athens, and Perry County. So that is the first thing to do, and the most important thing to do is to see whether rent assistance might be available to you.
Schwally says the Southeastern Ohio Legal Center has seen a rise in housing issues since the beginning of the pandemic, and a rise in people who may not have previously qualified for services. Schwally serves a lot of clients who have experienced evictions.
Housing stability is an incredibly important base for a healthy life, and the anxiety of losing that can be really the first domino of a lot of dominoes to fall for low-income individuals. So the stress is incredibly high. I see it all the time.
However, Salville said the HAPCAP program also has benefits for landlords.
To recoup funds that they have also been living.
A group in Nelsonville is using meals to bring the community together. That story's still ahead.
And how much rain can we expect in the coming weeks? Find out next in my full weather forecast. But first, here's a look at stocks of local interest.
We formed a family to look out for each other. No one else was looking out for us.
Three friends confront their futures and face the past.
How much did you know about what was happening?
Skateboarding meant more to you than being cool and having friends. It was kind of a life or death thing.
The Oscar-nominated Minding the Gap on POV.
He was bigger than boxing.
I am the greatest.
He was larger than life.
His magnetism just was amazing. Who is this guy?
He was a revolutionary. He was a groundbreaker.
Well, ain't nobody gonna stop me.
Ken Burns captures an intimate story of victory, defeat, and determination.
The price of freedom comes high. I have paid, but I am free.
Muhammad Ali. Tune in or stream. Starts Sunday, September 19th at 8/7 Central, only on PBS. On Icon.
You look at a picture, are you in or are you out?
He opened a gallon tin of paint and hurled it across the room.
If I was 16 years old, I'd have to go see what kind of band that was.
You're like, what's going on here?
Both of those cats dying in a 12-month period is really profound impact on the culture.
How could anybody not put David Bowie on the cover in that moment?
Icon, Music Through the Lens. Tune in or stream Friday at 9/8 Central, only on PBS.
A historic lighthouse teeters on a collapsing cliff.
The result would be disastrous.
Open the valve!
A team of elite engineers wages an epic battle to move it.
Move the whole thing at once.
Safely inland, fighting deadly storms and crumbling walls. Can they save it before time runs out? Operation Lighthouse Rescue on Nova.
Good evening, I'm Benjamin Byers. Taking a look at right now in Athens. It's pretty hot outside, 83 degrees, and that sun is shining down with partly cloudy skies, and it feels like 86, so much warmer than the actual temperature is right now outside. Right now in our southeastern Ohio region, 85 in Newark, 85 in Ripley, 84 in Ironton, and 83 in Jackson. We see some cooler spots like 81 in Chillicothe, 81 in Cambridge. I know that's not too cool, but still lower than what we can see throughout the rest of our southeastern region. But still, that sun is out with a few clouds here and there coming through our area. Tonight in Athens will cool down a bunch, 65 degrees with those cloudy skies, and winds will remain light and variable as we go into the night. So no problem there, and shouldn't make it too much cooler as we go into the night as well. Tonight in our southeastern area, 66 in Newark, 67 in Columbus, 65 in New Lexington, 65 in Chillicothe. So overall, pretty much the same theme throughout our region. There is some chances of rain in more of the Chillicothe area, but still a very cloudy night is ahead of us tonight. Tomorrow in Athens will heat up a lot with 88 degrees, very hot tomorrow, with mostly cloudy skies, and those winds again will remain light and variable, just like today. Just like we saw today. And tomorrow, again, pretty much the same theme throughout our southeastern region. A lot of 88 degrees, like in Athens and Jackson and Ripley and Columbus. We see 87 in Chillicothe and 87 in Cambridge, but overall very hot tomorrow. There are some areas that have some rain expected or some clouds, so that might cool things down a bit, but really not much, just a hot day tomorrow. Hour by hour for Athens, 8 p.m., 79 degrees, and then we'll cool down to 70 degrees by 12 a.m. So quite a bit of a cool down, but we'll keep those cloudy skies as we go, as we go into the night once we hit about 9 o'clock p.m. And your hour by hour for your morning commute, at 6 a.m. we'll have 66 degrees, 8 a.m. 68 degrees, 10 a.m. 76 degrees. So overall, we'll warm up quite a bit, and those clouds will sadly remain with us, but those winds won't cause you too much of a problem as you're going out to work in the morning. Sky events for August 2021. Tonight, sadly, clouds will be in our area, but if you get a chance to look up and you see a clear sky, those Milky Way stars will be shown tonight with the new moon phase of the moon making the skies much more darker tonight. And we have a meteor shower on the 12th and a full green corn moon on the 27th, which is the full moon in August. So a lot of cool things to look forward to as we go into August. Taking a look at the 7-day forecast for the week ahead, Saturday and Sunday, we see those clouds remain all the way to Tuesday. And Wednesday, we begin to see those chances of thunderstorms, and they stay with us all the way to Friday. Thursday is the only day with real chances of precipitation. And over to the news desk.
After unexpectedly having to move last month, the community dinner in Nelsonville opened in a new space yesterday night.
Dottie Frommel first had the idea for the community dinner when she was working at the Hive, a child care center in Nelsonville. She met many children who ate dinner alone each night and felt they needed more human contact. So she and her close friend Lori Crook started organizing meals every Thursday. From there, it grew beyond what either could have expected.
Suddenly we had mothers and fathers and grandparents and aunts and uncles joining us for dinner, and then the children were inviting their neighbors, and soon it was a community dinner.
The dinner boasts values such as radical kindness and radical compassion. It even publishes a newsletter called Radical Times. Frommel says they use the word radical in its traditional meaning, to denote the root of something. Residents say the organization meets an important need in the community and is part of a larger trend in the town.
Nelsonville is definitely on the rise. We've got a lot of really good things happening for us. We've got a lot of new businesses coming in.
Bill LaRue is the general manager of LaRue Properties in Nelsonville. When the community dinner was unexpectedly asked to leave by its previous landlord, LaRue stepped in to offer them a new place. For some, the community dinner has been life-changing. Amanda Decker is a lifelong resident whose children first encouraged her to attend. Today, she's a fixture.
Well, I tried to kind of just stay at home, but when I was welcomed with open arms, you saw me get out more and I was a lot happier.
In the future, Frommel hopes to turn the dinner building into a pay-what-you-wish restaurant. She says Nelsonville has already given her more than she can repay. Through the community, she connected with a doctor who restored her failing eyesight.
I could spend the rest of my life trying to do good and not repay that gift.
Progressive Field is getting a $435 million investment. The state, City of Cleveland, and others are part of the new lease agreement for the home of the city's Major League Baseball team. Governor Mike DeWine says the state's $30 million contribution is well worth it.
This is a good victory, frankly, for everyone. It's good for the team, it's good for the city, good for the county, good for the state, and very good for the fans.
The deal lasts 15 years, but DeWine says it could be extended to 25 years. The team recently announced its name change to the Cleveland Guardians, going into effect in 2022.
Happy Friday, everyone. Coming up, here from Licking Valley's legendary head coach as he prepares his Panthers for another season. And right after the break, the Bobcats are back. Hear from Ohio football players following their first day of fall camp, up next on Newswatch. And be sure to stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
We formed a family to look out for each other. No one else was looking out for us.
3 friends confront their futures and face the past.
How much did you know about what was happening?
Skateboarding meant more to you than being cool and having friends. It was kind of a life or death thing.
The Oscar-nominated Minding the Gap on POV.
We're 2 working dads trying to raise a 4-year-old kid.
It's a roller coaster. Good thing I like roller coasters. When he's watching PBS Kids, he's just more engaged.
Hi, neighbor. Daniel Tiger really helps John understand that he lives in a world made of all different types of families.
Ugga mugga. Daniel talks about things that John can relate to. It makes him feel more welcome in the world. And that's why we value PBS Kids.
On Icon.
You look at a picture, are you in or are you out?
He opened a gallon tin of paint and hurled it across the room.
If I was 16 years old, I'd have to go see what kind of band that was.
You're like, what's going on here?
Both of those cats dying in a 12-month period is really profound impact on the culture.
How could anybody not put David Bowie on the cover in that moment?
Icon, Music Through the Lens. Tune in or stream Friday at 9/8 Central, only on PBS.
Diana was so relatable.
Utterly charming.
She had to claw her way towards the person that she wanted to be.
I'm only trying to highlight a problem that's going on all around the world.
Diana had an unconditional love that is extraordinarily rare. Love purely for the sake of love.
I'm not a political figure. I am a humanitarian figure, and always have been and always will be.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Brian Kerp. Bobcats football is back. Ohio opened up its fall camp this morning at Peden Stadium. The Bobcats practiced without pads today. Players ran through drills within their position groups before 7-on-7 and full squad drills. There's no doubt the players are happy to be back on the field.
Man, it's amazing, and I'm happy to be out here. I mean, we haven't been out here for a while now. We've been working all summer, waiting for this moment and getting ready for the season, getting prepared and all that. So we're all excited to be out here. We're flying around, and we're just having fun.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be back with the guys. Team's looking great. We're thrilled and ready to go. I mean, if we could, we'd play whenever we, right now, you know, because that's how excited we are. But we need a little bit more practice, I think.
The Bobcats will have 18 more practices during camp, including 2 scrimmages on August 14th and 21st. Ohio announced today that the scrimmage on the 21st is set to be open to the public. Consistency builds winning programs, and no high school program in the state has more consistency at the head coaching position than Licking Valley, where Hall of Fame coach Randy Boffman is ready to kick off another season. Licking Valley football is synonymous with Randy Boffman. The longtime Panthers head coach is heading into his 46th season. He has over 300 wins, has made the state championship game 3 times, and is in the Ohio High School Coaches Hall of Fame. Licking Valley has been part of Boffman almost his entire life.
I went to school here, graduated here, played here, went away for a while, but came back and have stayed. You know, it's just it's a good community, close-knit community. You know, I've just enjoyed my time here.
Hundreds of players have gone through Boffman's football program. Many have nothing but respect for their head coach.
It feels great knowing how you have a legendary coach like him to be coaching you, and knowing that you have a lot to prove, especially for him being your coach. You know, it really gets all these guys motivated.
Year 46 is a new chapter for Boffman. The Panthers graduated several seniors last year, but Boffman has confidence in this year's squad.
We, as coaches and players, are I think, playing with a chip on our shoulder, more so this year than most, just because, you know, people are kind of counting us out this year.
What better way to start off your 46th season than facing your rival? The Panthers travel to Sheridan to take on the Generals in Week 1.
I mean, it's just the perfect high school rivalry. Both schools are country schools. A lot of the parents know each other, work with each other. And it's, you know, they don't like us, we don't like them, but we certainly respect them. We know they're going to be a great football team.
Boffman and his Panthers have 2 scrimmages scheduled against Johnstown Monroe, and Maysville before that big game at Sheridan on August 20th. I'm Brian Kerp, and that's it for sports. Back over to the news desk.
Olympic medalist Simone Biles returned home yesterday to a hero's welcome. After landing in Houston, Biles made her way to her home in Spring, Texas. She was honored with a parade and was able to reunite with her family and loved ones after her time in Tokyo ended.
And let's take a final look at your weather. Tonight in Athens, we'll cool down a bunch, 65 degrees, but sadly we'll have those cloudy skies, so won't be able to see those stars tonight. And winds light and variable, so not going to bother much as we go into the night. Taking a look at tomorrow in Athens, 88 degrees. Well, very hot tomorrow with mostly cloudy skies with that sun peeking out here and there, and winds again light and variable, so sadly not giving us much of a cool down as we go through tomorrow. Hour by hour for your morning commute, 6 a.m., 66 degrees, and then we'll warm up all the way to 76 degrees at 10 a.m., and those clouds will remain through the area. Taking a look at the 7-day forecast for the week ahead, you can see low 90s, high 80s throughout the week, and back over to the news desk.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Taylor Burnett.
And I'm Teo Peck Suzuki. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at woub.org. Have a great night.
Support comes from Goldsberry Wealth Strategies in Athens and Parkersburg, focusing on helping people achieve a life well lived with a custom strategy. Information at goldsberrywealth.com. Raymond James Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA, SIPC. Support comes from Snyder, Fuller, and Stroh in Athens, providing retirement planning and assistance to Southeast Ohio for 50 years. Snyder